Hey everyone, I just got done watching Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a limited series based on a book of the same name. I got that book recently. Have not read this book yet, but I'll read it soon. So this is the story about the band themselves, Daisy Jones herself, Billy Dune and his brother Griffin, Warren, and so on. So this is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. You know her? She made The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I have not read this book either. I'll buy it sometime if I can. So sorry, my books fail. Okay, so there's almost 400 pages, so it's 375. Look at this. So yes, if you want to watch the show, you gotta read this book. This is a book that was here on the same name. So go read this. Highly recommend it. I'll read it soon if I can. Alright, enough of that. So let's get on to the series. First of all, when I watched the teaser trailer, I was so wait. They're making a TV show? And yes, and I was like, oh my god, this would be exciting. Cannot wait to watch this. And then when I watched the trailer days before it comes out, I was so excited to watch Daisy Jones and the Six, the series. So yeah, that's what I want. And now it's here, Amazon, March 3rd. I watched first 3, 10. I watched the other 3. Then last week I watched the other 2, and now I watched the last 2. And you know what? They're all amazing, right? It's pretty amazing. It's one of the best Amazon series ever. Don't get me wrong, it was pretty good. I do enjoy that book. I do enjoy that show. That show was amazing. Acting's pretty good, like her example, Rai Kyo and Suzuki Waterhouse. Her latter was also a singer in real life, which is not a bad deal. But come on, who knows about Suzuki Waterhouse? Who knows about her? But she's an amazing singer. I have not listened to her songs, but I'll listen to her soon if I can. So, anyways. Now this here, oh sorry, let me get my book again. Now this here is very much faithful to this book. Now, when they make a TV show, you have to do need to make it more faithful to this book. Not than the book, to this book. Just like any other books. Here's another example. Queen's Gambit. I've read this book like a year and a half ago when the Emmys announced. I love that book. That book is fantastic. Then I watched that show back in December. It was a great series. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I want to watch this. Come on. This book is masterpiece. So yeah, I'm not gonna cover this. I just want to cover this book. So the acting is pretty good. Like I said, it has some great moments here. Like for example, they record songs. They perform it live. They had interviews with the band members, or so on. They also got the Milf Griffin Show, the Saturday Night Live, known as SNL, takes place in the Rockefeller Center, as I mentioned, when I watched episode 9. And best of all, the Soldier Place. Sorry, burped. But anyways, setting was pretty good. I love the setting. The setting was, so in the 7th episode, takes place in Greece. I'm talking about the Greek, like It's Greece. Not Greece, Greece. You know, the place called Greece. It was a good setting for the seventh one. I don't manage to check on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic because I don't check those anymore because when that thing happened, when Bullet Train happened, I stopped looking at them. So that's why I need to do something better than what critics are saying. Remember that? But I'm not going to cover it either. So first, all the songs are good. They're amazing. I love all those songs. Like for example, Don't Look Us Now, The Honeycomb, Aurora, Regret Me, all sorts of different kinds of songs. They're pretty good. And Aurora's the title track from the album Aurora by Daisy Jones and Six. If you never listened to this soundtrack album, go click here. Go on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, whatever you're on, and then listen. Oh, best of all, they're in Dolby Atmos for just Apple Music and then Amazon Music and nothing else. That's it. Very cool. And of course, there are no flaws in here. Why there are no flaws in here? Well, take a look at this. This book was very, very faithful. So, the creators adapted this book into a 10-part limited series. So, they turned it into an Amazon series, and they turned this band into a real-life band, led by Riley Keough, as I mentioned earlier. But this is a masterpiece. This series is awesome. I loved it. It's fantastic. And you know why? As I'm a good singer. Okay, let's get on with the episode. So, episode 1. It's a pretty good start. I loved episode 1. They started introducing those interviews, the band, and then they had a prologue, saying before they broke up. And they move on to this later life. So track 1, I love track 1. Track 1's awesome. Track 1 is the best episode. But fantastic start. They didn't give almost an hour long episode because even though it's an hour long episode, it didn't get close to an hour. But precisely, it's pretty amazing. It's a great start. Now, on to track 2. Track 2 is basically just about... Sorry. Again. So basically, they tried how to make music and said, you know what, let's make music. Okay, so that part was pretty good. They start recording the music. Start recording those songs. And, I loved it. It's a good part. Now, on to episode 3. Episode 3 is good, but it's got some more interviews, and and they got even a Mel Griffin show. I'm not sure if I said that in the episodes 2 or 3. No, but it's Mel Griffin show. So don't get me wrong on that. That was a pretty good concept about Mr. Price. You know him, right? It was good. It was a good interview, and I really appreciate all the work and stuff. Now, episode 4. Oh boy, episode 4. This is a pretty good stuff. They played it on the radio in the diner and said, hey, look, that's us playing on the radio. They play on the jukebox at the diner. And he said, yeah, go on. Come on. You see that? It was a massive hit at the charts. massive hit. I really enjoy this episode. It's so good. I love that episode. Fantastic episode. It's pretty good. Now, episode 5. Okay, just ignore those noises. So, episode 5 takes place mainly later in the desert, later in the episode, and they perform a live performance song called Look at Us Now. And wow, that was so good. I loved it. It's one of the best parts in the entire series. I love that part. That part is so well done for me. I do enjoy it. I think I mentioned something. Just correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong here, as I said. Sorry about that. Okay, anyways, episode 6. I'm probably thinking episode 6 is a pretty good episode. The question is, why do we call episode 6? So they continue recording songs, they could play live, they do anything they want when they comes to a band. So it was a nice concept. I do enjoy this concept. That was one of the best concept episodes I've ever watched. It was really amazing. Now on to episode 7. It takes place in the 70s, which, you know, this is a non-linear series, right? This is a non-linear series. Like, for example, Breaking Bad, Pulp Fiction. I love Pulp Fiction. It's one of my favorite movies. You can check out in Letterboxd if you want to see it. But non-linear order is one of the best structures in movie history. They got Nolan, they got Tarantino, which he's one of my favorite directors. Nolan's also one of my favorite directors too, so we're not going to cover that. So, now, takes place in the 70s and then transitioned to the 80s, which, you know, it's the same, but whatever, it's the same. Now, in Greece, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, no, not the video. Oh, the video, right, not the episode. The video I mentioned earlier. They had a great chat with them. You know, it's a great chat in, you know. So, episode 8, I do love episode 8. Episode 8 was so good. Because episode 8 was pretty good for most of the time. This was one of the great concepts in history. You know that, right? It's pretty good. It's spellbinding. I love episode 8. Episode 8 was pretty awesome episode. I loved it. It's a good episode. Okay, so episode 9, the penultimate episode, or track 9. So before I said, these all 10 episodes were as 10 tracks. So there's 10 tracks in total. It's a 10-track limited series. It's like an album. You know that? For example, this Eminem album has 20 tracks. This one, which I got recently, This Is Why, which I will not both be covered this. But This Is Why is a great album. I love Paramore. It's my favorite band of all time. I love this. This album was pretty good. If you never listened to it, go check out. It's an awesome album. And this is the first album to be in Atmos. I'm pretty sure that other ones will be in Atmos as well. So we'll see that in foreseeable future. But anyways, not covering this or the Eminem one. Now, go back to episode 9. Episode 9 was so spectacular. I love episode 9. It's amazing. They had a Saturday Night Live at the Rockefeller Center, as I mentioned on NBC, the longest running Saturday Night Live program ever. It plays every Saturday night until usually from October to May. That was a good part. But sad spoilers. It's a little bit of spoiler. suffered from something. I don't know. But still, great episode. Really enjoyed it. And now, here's the best part. Track 10. Rock and Roll Suicide. Oh my goodness. I love Rockin' Suicide. This is the best episode I have ever watched. It's one of the best ones. They played that final performance at the Soldier Place in Chicago, Illinois. That part was so amazing. They play Aurora, they play Look at Us, now the Honeycomb, and they play Don't Regret Me. And now Billy Dunn, who introduced all their band members except for Daisy Jones herself, who introduced to Billy Dunn and then played for the final time until they got disbanded, and they do it for the later lives. That was one of the best parts ever. I really love this part. It's so good, so fantastic. And I hope to seeing this again sometime. So that episode was so amazing. I loved it. Highly recommend this episode. If you've never seen it, go watch on Amazon Prime. You need to subscribe this one first before you start watching this series. As I said, yeah, that was a fantastic episode. I loved it. It's so good. So, anyways, I love all 10 tracks or 10 episodes. Best series ever. I loved it. It's so well done. The song's well done, performance well done, everything's well done, story's well done. Everything is so well done to the faithful adaptation of the book itself. It was so good. I love this. I love this series. All 10 tracks were not bad at all. I have 0 flaws for all of this. I have 0 flaws for this. So that was pretty awesome. I love this whole concept from the book to the series. If you want to make a good series with a good storyline, you need to adapt this book to make it more faithful to this book. So here's how to make a good film or TV adaptation. So first, you need to make this as a film, as a screenplay, because you need to make it more faithful to this book. And then after that, the critics will love it and they send it to award season. So there you go. That's how you make a good, faithful TV series or film adaptation to this book. It was so powerful. I love this book. How to film. For example, the Harry Potter films, the Lord of the Rings books, they're all amazing. I really want to revisit them sometime. But no, I'm not going to cover it. I just want to finish covering Daisy Jones and the Six based on the book itself. If you never watched the show or read it or listened to it, you better listen. You better do all of these. It's so good. Read the book, watch the series, and listen to this great album called Aurora, as I mentioned earlier. So, there you go. So, first of all, I want to give this a rating. I will give it a 10 out of 10. Oh my god, I love this show. The show is fantastic. Everything works well. The songs are fantastic. The acting was very amazing. The character development is so awesome. And all the stuff in this concept really worked out well. So, there you go. Daisy Jones and the Six. Fantastic series. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Hands down. Best series in the world. Best Amazon series in the world. I loved it. There's another series called Underground Railroad Boys, which I have not seen it. So I'm gonna check out the other ones aside from Daisy Jones and the Six. Oh boy. Wow. It's the past 20 minutes. That was the greatest book to series adaptation I've ever seen. But as I mentioned, I'm gonna read this book soon and see what I think of it. It should be good. I don't know. See. So, anyways, that's it. That's my review for Daisy Jones and the Six. Hands down, best show ever. Hope to get it. Hoping to see this book to get Emmy nominations soon. Probably in July, and then when it comes, I'll play it on TV or whatever, depending you're on. So, anyways, that's it. That's Daisy Jones and the Six review. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you then. And by the way, when you bought the book, go buy this book. I'll put a link in the description below, or you can check out Aurora by Daisy Jones and the Six, the album by Lion Records. I'll put a link in the description as well on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, others. Go read the book, go watch the series, and listen to the soundtrack. They're great. They're awesome. So anyways, that's it. I'll see you then soon. Talk to you then.